Do you feel anger or even hatred towards men?
I never hated men, but now I do. I mean, not all. I have a category. I hate those male... God. I hate those male cops. Real bad, because they're dirtballs. The cops, the judges, the lawyers, they're all male.
I killed 8 of my babies. I am Dominique Cotres. Listen carefully to my story because you could be the next victim. As a mother of 2 little girls, I was living a normal life until the day everything changed. In 10 years, I gave birth to 8 other children that I suffocated right after their birth. My husband and daughters never knew anything. My past as a victim of incest had made me lose my mind. Also, I didn't want to take the pill, and hospitals scared me because the caregivers humiliated me because of my weight during my previous pregnancies. For me, killing my babies after they were born was my method of birth control. I then hid the bodies in my father's house. But in 2010, the new owners of my father's house discovered 2 infant corpses while gardening. A search revealed 6 more bodies. I confessed to everything, and I was convicted. Despite my crimes, my oldest daughter supports me. My husband is shocked that he didn't see anything. It's normal, an obese woman can easily hide her pregnancy. I was sentenced to 9 years in prison for my actions. Today I am free. I can finally live again. Boys have the right to live and grow. Your parents gave you this chance. I should have done the same for those little ones. Can you forgive me?
Alright, so Dominique Cotres, the French lady from northern France who actually killed 8 of her infants. So just for clarity's sake, it wasn't over a 10-year period. This was actually over a 17-year period. So that was between 1989 until about 2006. She was caught in 2010, but it wasn't over a 10-year period. No, she was getting pregnant every single year. Clearly, she'd get pregnant every 2 years. What's actually insane is the fact that she was sentenced to 9 years, which doesn't make sense. So the original charge was actually over homicide, right? For all 8 babies that she decimated, essentially. The weird part is the fact that eventually this was reduced to 9 years, which does not, for the life of me, make sense to me whatsoever. The justice system needs to understand that babies aren't half humans or quarter humans. These weren't fetuses. They were live humans. She was supposed to get 8 life sentences. I would argue, in my opinion, I could be wrong, the fact that she got 9 years is, to me, just barbaric. The worst part is, although she was arrested in July 2010, she was actually released in 2013 on some special condition that's still unknown to this day. She literally served 3 years out of 9 years. She didn't even serve half a sentence, which again just doesn't make sense to me. And after she left prison, she was ordered to go through some sort of psychiatric therapy, which was, to me, again, just a waste of state resources. She should still have been incarcerated. She was a healthcare worker. She was an assistant nurse. The fact that she worked in healthcare, again, I am at a loss for words. I just have no comment on that. Alright, so she has 2 daughters. So apparently she was traumatized from her first pregnancy, which begs the question to be answered, then why did you get pregnant for the second time? Because you have 2 daughters. Over 17 years, she still had children. Why? Yeah, no, this lady is extremely selfish. Like the fact that she didn't want to go on contraceptives. A contraceptive is an easier alternative to suffocating a baby. Man, this is not rocket science. If you don't want to go on a contraceptive, then you could have just used protection. If you don't want to use protection, do nothing. It's really that simple, especially if your man can't pull out, like, then it's not worth it, then don't do it. After you suffocate the first baby, right, then there's a second baby. You still carry on. How do you, in your right mind or in your right head, carry on, dude? I don't understand this, bro. So yeah, this lady apparently has a whole host of mental conditions. Depression is obviously at the very top of this, and anxiety, I'm assuming. Man, if your weight is an issue or a problem, eat less, move more. It's really that simple. You could have just worked on your weight issues. Work on your weight issues means you working on your mental state of being, which means no babies get suffocated. I know obviously with contraceptives, they put on any extra or added weight But if that is an issue, then people should just eat less and move more. There's so many solutions I could actually think of right now from the back of my head. The fact that suffocating a baby is your method of contraception is barbaric. It means that you are sick, man. After they released her from prison, they should have just taken her straight to a mental institution and give her whatever psychiatric therapy that she needs at the mental institution. She's out free roaming the streets. For all we know, between 2013 and 2023, she may potentially have been pregnant again and given birth and probably suffocated more babies. Who knows? That assumption is not too far-fetched. She's not 100% mentally, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what she's been doing with her extra or spare time in the last 10 years. So this is a story of Philip Chisholm, the young 14-year-old murderer who literally sliced his teacher's throat on the 23rd of October 2013. So basically these days, 14-year-olds go to school highly prepared to take people's lives too. When I was 14 years old, I wasn't even prepared for my first kiss, and even then I was pissing my pants. So the story goes that on the fateful day that Philip was preparing to take his teacher's life, he came to school with a box cutter, a ski mask, gloves, and also a change of clothes. Apparently he followed her all the way to the bathroom, and then that's when he raped her and also sliced her throat out. There's actually still no clear motive as to why he did that. If he had some sort of fetish or some sort of obsession over his math teacher, or if he just hated her, it's still unclear to date. What's actually weird as well about this entire story, which actually just blows my mind, was the fact that he committed the crime in broad daylight. At school, there were still students in the building. Anyone could have seen him blatantly do what he was doing. Dude, that level of bravery far exceeds that of a normal person. He walked out of the bathroom with the teacher's body inside the dustbin, and he made his way out. Daytime, my friend, not even nighttime, bro. No, Philip is extremely impatient. Not even nighttime, but daytime, my friend. Daytime, this oak was walking around with his deceased math teacher's body in a dustbin like it is a normal Saturday, my friend. So apparently his parents also filed a missing persons report because that same day he didn't go home. And then also Colin Ritz's parents, also who was the deceased teacher, they also filed a missing persons reports as well, after she also failed to make her way home that fateful night. Philip Chisholm was found walking around in some highway. This was after midnight. The cop that searched him found the box cutter and then asked him, dude, where is this blood coming from, bro? And then he said, no, it's the girl's blood. So essentially the guy literally just confessed on the spot. Does he even know what he was doing? The fact that you also kept evidence, and then when they asked you what it was, you just confess immediately. Like there was no sense or need for him to lie. None of that. Like he just confessed right on the spot, which is a bit weird as well, dude. It's quite odd. After that, the cops obviously started searching in the woods, and they found Colleen Ritz's body. So Philip Chisholm was tried and also charged as an adult for murder and also aggravated rape, and he was also charged as well as a juvenile for robbery because they also found Colleen's possessions like her wallet on him also. I feel like they also added the whole robbery charge on top. So this young lad is serving about 40 years in prison. So yeah, dude, another very shocking and disturbing story. I wonder if he knew that there were cameras all around the school. It seems like a more of a spur of the moment thing, planned hours or a day in advance. It definitely comes across as though it was something that had been on his mind for the longest time, and until eventually he just snapped for whatever the reason and committed the crime and did what he did. Now he is paying the time.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I found this bone, and it looks like a hip bone of a human, and it looks like it's been cut off. You can leave. And that looks like the bit that you put a leg into. And I'm about to have a f***ing heart attack. This is where I am. I'm in the middle of the woods. I'm on this bit that isn't even really a track at all. There's like trees covering it. It could be an animal's, but I don't know. So I'm gonna call the police, I think. I'm literally waiting for the police to arrive, and I have 7% battery, and my car's not working. After an hour, the police arrived, and I then walked him through the woods. It's a 15-minute walk to get to where I was, with the moonlight, and that was it. I did it all a bit quicker earlier, and I think it's because I was scared. It was just slightly to the side. I didn't really move it.
Lovely.
So despite me sending photos, they needed to come and take more with a tape measure to figure out what it was, because they knew it wasn't deer. Oh, you're coming back, no? Or you're sitting here?
I'm here.
You're going to stay here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's all golden. Thank you very much.
Oh, and I'll leave you? Okay. Wow, okay. Is this better than drunk people, or?
It's a little bit sketchy.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. The police officer had to wait on the scene and tape it up in case. And I had to make the journey through the woods back to my car all alone, which was kind of scary. So I haven't posted an update till now because I didn't want to post until I knew what it was. I didn't want to post a human remain on TikTok, you know? But the police never got back to me, so I don't think it was human.
First of all, ma'am, I don't feel sorry for you, dude. What are you doing walking in the woods by yourself? I know, the fact that you even drove it, and afterwards you continue to walk in the woods. If you look at those woods, bro, they look like the kind of woods that people go to and disappear. They never come back. And the fact that you go to those kinds of woods, not a chance. So I am struggling to feel sorry for this chick. No one said go to the woods, dude. And she's so nosy as well. The fact that she wants the cops to get back to her after they find out if it's a human or if it's an animal. Bro, mind your own business, lady. First of all, you go to the woods, number one. That is mistake number one. Those woods don't look safe at all. By yourself. Your battery on your vehicle is flat. Afterwards, you obviously get the cops in over there as well. You could have just gone home, bro. Could she not just go home and mind her own business, dude? Is it really that difficult to mind your own business? Like, I couldn't be bothered. Otherwise, guys, can you talk about those woods though? Like, are you guys looking at those woods, bro? Which person in their right mind goes walking in the woods that look like that? Especially if you're female. That is if you care about your own safety. I mean, if you don't, be my guest, go ahead. We can literally go throw yourselves in those woods. There's been hundreds, if not thousands of cases where people dump people's dead bodies in the woods. And you yourself decide to go there. And these kinds of woods look like they are the worst of the worst. They look like you can find all kinds of things dirty, dude. Those kinds of woods, you'll most likely find an animal species that has never been discovered by scientists. And the scientists have discovered hundreds of thousands of animal species. You'll find one that is unknown, and you'll be the first one to discover it. And that will be the last time that we see you alive. Guaranteed. That is why it has never been discovered, because anyone that finds it just never knows to tell the tale. Have you not heard of these urban legends? I feel like this chick is an adrenaline junkie too, essentially. The fact that she also went back with the cops at night. Ma'am, could you just not have gone home and go about your night? You survived. Be grateful. And then you still go back to the very same woods that you claimed to have seen some sort of human remain, and you still go back there. Does that make sense to you? How does it make sense in your head? Because to me, it doesn't make sense. And I, my friends, am not that person.
Fatal damage found. Fatal damage found. Ejecting. Eject.